What is up? Quasi here, and this is going to be part 2 of the energy accessing higher energy levels series. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to actually access these higher vibration states and how to maintain them. Now, this video is a continuation of the last video, but as you will be able to tell in a bit, I do have a longer beard in the previous video because I recorded it last week. So, with that in mind, I want to actually invoke a discussion we were talking about last time, which was, are we really willing to surrender our worldly desires in order to access these high vibration states and be completely okay with not having the Lamborghini, but feeling within as though we have the Lamborghini and feeling complete, even though we might not have the things outside? Now, that's a discussion that I want to get back into, and in the video, I will. But also, I want to ask you to think about something else. When we grow up, as we're raised, we're taught that in order to really get something in life, we have to work hard for it. We must struggle for a place under the sun. We must slave away. And do you really agree with that kind of mindset and that belief? Because if you do, then your reality will pan out that way. Because there is a reality, a parallel reality in which you effortlessly achieve your goals and you just attract it into your life. But because when we buy into this socially conditioned way that we've been raised, in which we were taught that in order to get something in life, you must work hard for it. Because we buy into that reality, then our reality pans out in that way. So everything we attract in our life, we attract through hard work. But anyway, that's something to think about. With that in mind, let's get into the video. Okay, so the question that was asked to me was, are you really willing to surrender your worldly self to experience these profound senses of peace and enlightenment? Because a lot of us still want to hold on to these worldly desires. Me, myself included. I mean, I'm still in college. I'm not saying that I am enlightened in any way, because, or else I'd just be escaping this life and going into a jungle and just meditating for the rest of my life. But what I am saying is there can be a high vibration state that you access and you operate from regularly. And once you operate from this state, your worldly desires become fulfilled out of a natural sort of least resistance way. So you just effortlessly fulfill all your desires and you manifest them into reality, so you can start focusing on bigger things. Now, it's crazy to think back a year ago where I was and what my life view was. So remember when I shared with you earlier that whatever you feel inside, you're going to project it out into the world. So whatever you feel inside, you're going to project it out into that homeless guy. So in that way, it's just powerful to see the changes that you have in your own perception, because as you evolve spiritually, you'll see yourself getting the perception of the higher levels of beings who operate from that level, let's say of 400 and 500. I've seen myself in all of these levels, and it's not to say that just because you operate from a high level that you eliminate all of the negativity that comes with it, because the feelings that you get from a lower state, they're always going to be present unless you fully immerse yourself in an environment which just fosters high vibration energy, because there's always going to be low vibration energy around you. That brings me to my next point, which is, how do we really access these high vibration states and maintain them? Well, the theory is that, according to Levels of Energy by Frederick Dodson, by the way, it's a great book. I encourage all of you to read it to get a better understanding of your levels of energy. But in this book, what he talks about is it takes around 21 days to maintain a newly acquired state. So if you expose yourself to low vibration stimulus, it's going to take 21 days for it to become your default state. And if you expose yourself to high vibration stimulus, let's say you currently vibrate at a level of 400, which is reason, and you expose yourself to the level of 500, which is unconditional love. Sorry, just love. 550 is unconditional love. If you expose yourself to the level of 500 for around 21 days, then you'll see that you'll start to radiate at 500, and that'll become your new default state. How do we raise our vibration naturally? Well, one principle to understand is that in order to raise your vibration to a newer, higher, permanent level, you must first have the intention to evolve spiritually. And second, you must expose yourself to stimulus that calibrates at a higher level than you already do. And there are 3 good ways to do that. So, number 1 is to expose yourself to a spiritual practice that calibrates at a very high level. And what that means is it's going to be difficult for you to verify which levels are high and which levels are not. And there are simple kinesiologic muscle tests that can be done. But personally, I don't like it because I just find that people have their own biases to deal with, and that gets in the way of your muscle testing. And if you want to find out more details about the kinesiologic muscle test, you can find it online, just a simple Google search away. But what I like to do is practice a known method that people have been doing timelessly, spiritual gurus, Buddhists, and have gotten great results with it, which is just mindful meditation, sitting down 15 minutes and observing your thoughts. Now, this practice itself calibrates at a level of 700, which people have seen enlightenment through just observing their thoughts, sitting quietly and observing their thoughts. They've achieved and retained high states of enlightenment. So meditation is practice 1. Or you could do some sort of kriya, which is yoga, like a Hatha Yoga practice, which I do every day. I do a Surya Kriya, which is a practice by Sadhguru. And I do a cycle of Surya Kriya every day. And what it does for me is it just grounds me and makes life effortless, really. I don't know what it calibrates at, but it's clearly above 600s, and it makes me feel really good and helps me operate from a high vibration state. So anyway, the second thing I want to talk to you about is exposing yourself to a high vibration stimulus such as music. What I've found is classical music sometimes tends to calibrate very high. So works of Mozart or Bach, you'll find that they calibrate above 500, maybe even 600s. That's why they're so timeless and no one can really eliminate them. Anything that calibrates at such a high level will never die out. It'll just stay along with time. People are going to keep coming back to it because you can access pockets of high vibration energy merely through listening to music. And what I like to do is every single morning, just right after I wake up, I like to put on a little Mozart and just prepare for my day. It makes me feel good. I begin with a high vibration energy and it feels good. And the third thing and the final thing I want to talk to you about is dealing with the lower states of consciousness. States that calibrate below 200, such as fear, such as apathy, guilt, all of these feelings. And the way you can deal with these feelings is through surrender. You'll find that through time to time, you're going to get bombarded with these lower energy feelings and you just don't know why. And that's because the pockets of low vibration energy, even though you've evolved some way, other parts haven't caught up yet. So in order for these other parts to catch up, they need to be surrendered. And what the surrender mechanism briefly is, I've talked about this a lot, so if you want to check out the surrender mechanism, I'll include a link in the description below. But the surrender mechanism basically is you're going to get bombarded with these feelings. They're just going to come because feelings are transitory states. Even though you're enlightened or whatnot, even enlightened beings get these. And sometimes people who've just recently acquired higher states of vibration, they get frustrated because they think they're supposed to be angelic all the time. But you're angelic 99% of the time until you completely withdraw from society. Then you can access places and you surround yourself in areas where high vibration energy is prominent. But in our society, we're always going to be exposed to lower vibration stimulus. And what one characteristic of this is getting attacked by fear and guilt and just not knowing what to do about it. Even though you feel so good 99% of the time, why is it that 1% of the time you're getting these feelings, even though you're so at a high vibration state? Well, like I said, feelings are transitory, and one way to counter that low vibration temporary feeling is when the feeling rises, you let it be there fully without resisting it, moralizing about it, judging it, anything of the sort. So you become aware of the feeling, you let the feeling be there by asking for more of it, and you let it run its course. You'll see that once you do this, the feeling gets lighter and lighter. So as the surrender mechanism takes its course, and you'll know that the surrender mechanism has taken its course by the mere lightness of the feeling as you progress through this method. So what basically happens in the surrender mechanism is you take the energy behind the negative feeling and it dissipates. And as it dissipates, this feeling gets lighter and lighter and lighter. And that's how you release those pockets of low vibration energy that you've still held on to, or that is just bombarding you day to day because of the low vibration stimulus you are unconsciously exposing yourself to. So these are just 3 ways in which you can get rid of low vibration energy. But there are many other ways, and the key principle to understand is, first, have the intention for spiritual evolution, and second, to expose yourself to high vibration stimulus whenever you can. So anyway, with that, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it helped. I'm also growing a massive Facebook group, and I've already posted so much content on the group. So if you want to join, click on the link in the description below. I'll be sharing all of my techniques, stuff like this, things that help me live everyday life and maintain states of high vibration and operate from that. So if you want to join, link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Peace.